Hello, welcome to American Environmental Review. I'm Morley Safer. Modern society has taken a dreadful toll on the environment, but today we're making great strides in reversing some of that damage. This story demonstrates what happens when people and technology work together to protect and preserve.
The Earth has shown great resiliency recovering from many of the errors of mankind, but it needs help. Today, individuals and organizations are stepping up their efforts to remove some of the hazards threatening our natural resources.
From about 1950 to roughly 1979, there were two operations here. One was what is called a drum recycler, where they brought in 55 used 55-gallon drums, emptied the contents out of them, burned the paint off, and then rehabbed them for sale as a used drum. The other part of the site behind me was used for treating sludges and other hazardous waste. When we first got on this site, there were literally tens of thousands of drums filled with all sorts of chemicals that were leaching into the soils and into the groundwater, and in some instances overland into the surface water.
What happened is they dumped the waste on the ground, and sometimes it seeped into the brook. From there, it came underneath the highway through this culvert and then contaminated the wetland. So the contamination started where I'm sitting, and it spread out behind me, working its way towards Country Pond, which is about 1,500 feet behind us.
To help clean up areas where volatile organic compounds and PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls, pose a risk, the EPA works jointly with agencies that share similar interests, together with specialized non-government entities, such as the Environmental Chemical Corporation. They're implementing solutions to meet or exceed federal standards. Here at New Hampshire's Ottati and Goss Superfund site, it was determined that a mechanized process known as low-temperature thermal desorption would be the best way to remove contaminants from the soil.
There are two parts to the process: what happens to the soil and what happens to the contamination, because the idea is to strip the contamination out of the soil. When we put the soil in the machine, it gets heated up. It gets heated up indirectly by the thermal unit, which means it never comes in contact with the flame. As the soil gets heated up, the contamination goes into the airstream, it volatilizes. The airstream, the second part of it, now has contamination in it. That's taken, separated from the soil, and then the temperature is reduced to cause all of the volatile contamination to coalesce and become liquid again. And then that is collected in the liquid stream, and clean air, after it's been tested, is released to the atmosphere. And then when the soil is all clean, it comes out of the other end of the thermal desorber.
We established cleanup levels, and we have reached and exceeded those cleanup levels by treating the material in the unit that's behind me. The thermal desorber is very effective for the chemicals of concern here, and so what we're putting back in the ground is substantially lower, actually an order of magnitude lower than what our cleanup standard was. So we're very pleased with that.
Advances in technology might play a key role in expediting the cleanup of our industrial legacy. Working together toward a common goal, we may become more proficient at helping Mother Earth to help herself.
The world around us is a fascinating and complex place. The air, soil, water, and living organisms must all coexist for life as we know it to continue. Be sure to join American Environmental Review next time for more on the innovations helping to protect and preserve our natural resources.
For more information, call American Environmental Review at 1-800-880-8485 or log on to WJMKTV.com.